past, just went with the future, just took every day by day, you know, and just looked to enjoy it. You know, we knew how good we were, we knew what we could do, you know. So it was just unlocking that potential now and just having a crack. And we're just enjoying our rugby.
And how critical was it for you guys to settle down into a consistent lineup in those last three matches to prepare you? And you guys were phenomenal, not only defending them all, but putting that rolling ball on. You yourself had a try. Is that something you guys put a focus on, knowing that you could put the screws to Nola if they were in the yellow card area a couple times?
Listen, we just focus on positives. You know, we know that's one of our strengths. You know, we got plenty of them. So we just go back to something that we know we're good at. You know, and just unbelievable praise from my forward pack today. Every single man on that field. It was just son Liam. I miss you very much, and thank you for everything you do for us.
There you go. Happy father right there. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Thanks, Rob. Classy man is Dylan Fawcett. They move on. Chicago will take on New England. We're going to take a timeout. We'll have the MLR Extra when we come back after this.
All you have to do is just look into his eyes, and you
Now, during the Ram Make This the Summer event, get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on select 2024 Ram pickup trucks and vans in dealer stock. See your Ram dealer today.
Different dogs have different needs, like skin and coat, mobility support, and healthy digestion. That's why Heinz Advanced Health has different formulas.
Get started for free at gusto.com.
Did you drive blindfolded? Of course not. Then why blindly buy car insurance? Take that blindfold off and see what options you have. Insurify shows you the best personalized insurance rates for free. Insurance made easy.
So that's how they're so productive. They use Fiverr. Look how quickly they find freelancers. So simple.
You don't have to worry about things like changing tax rates, exemption certificates, or filing returns.
Avalera.
See if sparks are right for you at row.co/sparks.
Welcome to StockX, where we believe in sneakers for everyone.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to try and step and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood.
Yep, sorry. There we go.
Taste ID will create exactly the combo you would like to eat.
How do you know our customers will like it?
Like it? They're gonna lick it.
Nice.
Get a technology partner that knows your business and your consumers. Globant, technology that really dares to delight.
First 20 minutes, empty the tank, we get back together. Yeah. All right?
Get ready for this!
Well, the celebration for the Chicago Hounds just getting started, at least for the night. Then they'll shift their focus to the Eastern Conference Final, where they'll take on New England. The two sides split this season. More on that as we move along here in the MLR Extra portion of our broadcast, getting you ready for San Diego and Seattle coming up at 9 Eastern, 45-21 the final. Down to the pitch we go. Dave Ryan with the Hounds head coach Rob Weber.
Hey, Ben, thanks so much. So, Coach, you came in, Sam Harris, replaced him, the 4-match losing streak, now a 4-match win streak, including the franchise's first ever postseason win, the Chicago Hounds. How have you engineered this turnaround?
Well, yeah, what an unbelievable question. Look, I think what we probably just try to do is empower the players to express themselves and let their personalities shine through. And I think you saw that in the second half today, where we moved the ball really well with some of our exciting backs, and then some of our forwards went to work in the set piece, and we seemed to have a nice blend in the second half. So that was really pleasing.
And you're able to take advantage of discipline issues with Nola. How big a key was that in this match tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's huge, isn't it? I think the game's hard enough when it's 15 v 15. So if you lose a man, it makes it tough. And we've been on the receiving end of that this year, and we'll have to be on our money with that moving forward. That did make a big difference, yeah.
So you told us today in our Zoom with you pre-match that you worked a lot with garbage bags over the players and a wet rugby ball to simulate what you thought would be pretty sticky conditions here. And it is warm now. It's still in the mid-80s here in the evening in New Orleans. How big an advantage was that this week for you?
Yeah, well, for a man that's come from Northern England, this is very, very hot. So very humid. Yeah, look, we did some stuff with some protocols in the week to just to try and expose the boys to a bit of heat and a bit of sweat and some uncomfortableness, if that's such a word. But yeah, look, we've won the game, so let's say it worked. Who knows? It was half about just getting the lads thinking about it and acknowledging it, and that's sometimes half the battle. So yeah, we'll definitely say it worked.
So here are the Hounds in year 2 in franchise history, winning a playoff game on the road against the second seed Nola in the East. Now you take on the defending Shield winners in New England. How do you best preview that match?
Well, I think what we've got to do is we've got to recover from this. This has been quite a big emotional build-up because we've had a big, long period to build up to it with the bye weeks. A lot of guys are on international duty. And then we've come and the boys have, expelled all their emotion and their energy today. So we'll have a day or two off and let them recover, and then we'll come in and we'll tackle New England.
Hey, Coach, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate that.
Thanks a lot.
See you next week. All right, Ben, let's go back to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. Thanks to Rob Weber. Enjoy listening to him. And there's a man that found the try zone tonight in this one, James Scott, getting in there and getting one down to make it 38-21. So speaking of New England, in round 4, New England won at SeatGeek Stadium 22-17. But in week 10, Chicago went to New England and won 26-20. The bottom line is both close matches. Both sides won on the road. Back down to the pitch, Rob Hammerschmidt now with the number 10 for the Hounds, Luke Carty.
Thank you very much. And again, I'm here with Luke Carty. 15 points on the day. Pulled the strings all day long in that back line. You're finally getting your opportunity to shine. How does it feel, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, wasn't really getting much game time at the start of the season, but I'm delighted to be in there now. I think
I hate to give you cliches, but our forwards were pretty unbelievable today, you know. They get us go forward ball, and then it's on me and the rest of the backs just to put them away. So I think big tap in the back to our forwards, and then for our backs to finishing them off.
And we know that you guys split with New England as well. Winning in New England, you got to be going into this game with some confidence going to that Eastern Conference final.
Yeah, I mean, confidence, but also they're the defending champs, right? And they're Fort Quincy, as they call it, pretty hard place to go and get a win. But yeah, we got the win there already this year, so we'll recover after this one, review it, and then go there and try to do a job.
And for this turnaround, obviously 3-0 in the last 3 regular season games. You know, what was it critical for you and the lads to get your mindset right? How did you do that after such a difficult challenge?
I feel like we just got around each other. You know, there's a lot of love in that building. I think everyone loves coming in, working hard together. And yeah, we just bought in there. There was obviously a lot of stuff went on behind the scenes. I think we all that kind of galvanized us together a little bit. We're all on the same page. And yeah, we've just been pushing on the last 3 weeks. So I think we're on a little bit of a roll, which is good.
How difficult do you think it'll be to play in New England? Fort Quincy is a pretty tough place to play, huh?
Yeah, pretty tough. But I mean, we've already been there. Pretty hostile crowd. They're obviously won it last year. They're home in a semi-final now. So be a tough place to go, but I think we're up for the challenge.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the win and good luck next weekend. Cheers, mate. Back up to you guys.
All right, Rob, Dave, thanks so much. And JP Duplessis there on the right. Some of his teammates, Cam Dolan there, and showing their appreciation for some of the fans and their families. We're not done yet here on the MLR Extra. Another timeout. We'll come back with more after this.
Aaron Judge and the Yankees.
That is a monster shot.
Battle Rafael Devers and the rival Red Sox.
Oh, my goodness.
Or Mariners, White Sox. It's baseball night in America on Fox.
LeBron, Curry, and the best of the U.S. tune up for the Olympics.
Big time.
As they begin their run at a 5th straight gold in Paris.
Oh,
the USA Basketball Showcase. USA takes on Germany on Fox.
Let the bass kick. Let the bass kick. Let the bass kick.
No matter how old or young you are,
I'm that grandfather that's going to make it happen.
Classic Gen X overachiever, you can still become America's next master chef.
I'm a millennial. I'm not worried about the thing.
Gen Z, we have nothing to lose.
I feel like this dish is giving me a hug.
I don't usually cook with alcohol. I'm mostly drinking it.
Gen Z.
Which generation is going to win it all?
MasterChef Generations. All new Wednesdays on Fox. Anytime on Hulu.
14 top food entrepreneurs are fighting for a $250,000 prize.
I'm so nervous.
We want to see that you can take your business to the next level.
Chili for children. Square Eats.
Pot drops.
You are Team Vanderpump.
I'd also like to be on Team Ramsey.
It's Team Ramsey.
Whose idea was that marketing plan?
Sorry, guys.
Versus Team Vanderpump.
You need to walk in your customer's shoes.
You're desperate to win, aren't you?
Wipe that slide off his face.
Food Stars, all new Wednesdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Chicago comes to New Orleans, and they come away with a convincing win, 45-21. They defeat Nola Gold. These two sides met for the first time in the playoffs for each side, and a lot of history, Mike Petrie. Seattle, San Diego. Look at the numbers. Look at the storied rivalry between these two.
And Seattle 4-1 against San Diego in the playoffs. I mean, this is as brutal as it gets as far as rivalries go in Major League Rugby. Two of the original teams duked it out time and time again, especially in the early days. What an opportunity, though, for San Diego. We talked about it being a whole new season. They'll want to play at home in Snapdragon for that final. Everything on the line for them.
San Diego's won 4 of the last 5 in the series. For Mike Petrie, Dave Ryan, Rob Hammerschmidt, Kyle Binder, our producer, and all of our hard-working crew, couldn't do without a Ben Holden saying thanks so much for watching. Chicago a winner, 45-21. The final playoff match of the opening weekend is coming up at 9 Eastern.
I'm a rusty old boat hitch, and I am barely hanging on. And while we're still miles from the lake, I'm gonna launch this boat right here. See ya. Get Allstate. Save money on auto insurance and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
With the right plan, the right team, and hard work, even the most unpredictable events can be overcome. At USI, you have the whole team on your side, protecting you from the unexpected and making sure you bounce back better than ever. We take the time to understand your concerns and provide solutions with customized game plans for you and your business. It's Major League focus and results for you. And we call it the USI One Advantage.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before you with hard work. And for those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
First 20 minutes, empty the tank, we get back together. All right?
Get ready for this.
Welcome to the American Airlines takeoff. Welcome to the Apple State for one of the all-time great rivalries in Major League Rugby as we wind down this conference semifinal weekend here on Fox Sports. It's the Seattle Seawolves taking on the San Diego Legion, the most successful clubs in MLR's postseason and regular season collide here. Moments ago, Chicago with yet another one of our upsets this opening weekend. They will head to New England, where they beat New England earlier this year. And with Houston losing yesterday, that means the winner of our match between Seattle and San Diego now will host Dallas in the Western Conference Final. Welcome into our live coverage here on Fox Sports. Lincoln Rose along with the former Cal Golden Bear, Colin Hawley. And Colin, we talk about the greatest all-time rivalry in MLR for good reason. Seawolves, San Diego Legion. We do it again tonight.
Yeah, one of the best rivalries in Major League Rugby. These two teams have been on form through the inception of the league. But really, for me, it's knockout rugby. This is where the heroes show up to play. And really, it's form against physicality. San Diego has won 5 of the last 8. They're really finding their form as a team. And Seattle are the absolute bullies on the MLR pitch. They're going to come out with physicality tonight.
The home teams won each of the first 2 meetings this year in the season opener and in the season finale a couple of weeks ago. Let's take a look at our scrum halves. They are our men to watch in this one, our head-to-head matchup coming into tonight.
Yeah, J.P. Smith for Seattle, the captain. He's the marshal. He's the general out there, and he leads by example, leading in dominant tackles against his opposite, Connor Tupai. High remarks from head coach Danny Lee, and he's absolutely electric. He's a catalyst for this form that we're talking about. He pushes the tempo. You can tell by his meters carried, his carries, and his tries that he's an absolute attacking weapon.
The all-time series tied 8 wins apiece. One of them will find a difference maker today to advance to the Western Conference Final.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, and I saved hundreds. With all the money I saved, thought I'd buy stilts. Hi, honey. Hey. Oh, look. No line at the hot dog stand. Yes. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Thanks to Avalara, we can calculate sales tax automatically. Avalara.
What if tax rates change? Filing sales tax returns. Business license guidance. Cross-border sales. Item classification. Does it connect with it?
The future is not just going to happen. You have to make it.
And if you want a successful business, all it takes is an idea. And now becomes the future. A future where you grew a dream into a reality. It's waiting for you mere minutes away. The future is nothing but power. And it's all yours. The all-new GoDaddy Aero. Get your business online in minutes with the power of AI.
Why do couples choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
I need help with their snoring.
Sleep Number does that.
Thank you.
Save 25% on the most popular Sleep Number smart bed, plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add an adjustable base. Shop now.
Welcome to StockX, where we believe in sneakers for everyone. From the greatest grails to the latest trends, every sneaker you want is here. You can trust that every order is StockX verified, backed up by our buyer promise. Shop now at StockX.com.
It is official. First Things First is a hit.
The reviews are in.
First Things First is a mix of analysis, tremendous chemistry,
and total ridiculousness.
First Things First, weekdays at 3 Eastern on FS1.
We lost 34 people on that question.
That face when you discover
What happened?
you are not the smartest in the room.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'll take a deep breath. That was a little rough.
The 1% Club, all new Monday on Fox.
Today's presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by Globant, the official digital transformation partner of MLR. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. American Airlines, travel is better when you're an Advantage member. And by Sports Breaks, the official fan travel partner of Major League Rugby. Back in Tukwila, just outside of Seattle. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two sides. Again, they met back in week 1. They had the rematch in the season finale. Take a look at some of the changes. First up for the home side, brought to you by Ali Saloon Maria.
Yeah, take a look at this engine room for Seattle. So powerful in the front. You've got to look at number 2, Joe Taufete'e, the Eagle. He's absolutely phenomenal at that hooker position. But really in this match, you look in the back row, and Andros, Short, and Taylor. In the back line, the 9-10 combination from Heaven, Smith, and Mason. They are so good together. But this center pairing in Creel and Rousseau, Creel is absolute anvil at that inside center position. A lot running off that midfield.
Of course, head coach for the Seattle Seawolves, Alan Clark, the 56-year-old, helped lead the Seawolves to the title game a couple years ago, coming up just short of a 3rd crown. He does have the veteran Sam Windsor on the bench. He wishes he had a little more depth with so many injuries, including that of Riekert Hadding. As for the visitors from sunny San Diego, the Legion, looking to punch their ticket. They know San Diego's hosting the grand final. Will they be there?
Yeah, you take a look at this engine room, and it's going to be an arm wrestle. When we look at number 1, Peyton Talea, he's got high remarks from head coach Danny Lee, and he's going to have a big match with Roach and Green up front. But Vili Halu and Cowan and Tamalau at the back end is going to be awesome. In the back line, Connor Tupai, the electric play from him is going to be needed. And then you've got an incredible matchup here with Gito, Nanu, and Lutz. I mean, that midfield is one you got to dream of. Absolutely incredible lineup.
Danny Lee in his 3rd year at the helm, the former Super Rugby standout, has a former Seattle Seawolf champion, Justice Sears-Deroux, on the bench to go to. Won that 2019 crown. Of course, also has one of the great faces in this league from all the way back in year 1, Mikey Teo. The Australian Luke Rogan, our referee for tonight's match. Match officials brought to you by Arctic. Chris Asmus, Mike Lawrenson, the assistant referees. And back in the studios, our eye in the sky, the television match official, the veteran Derek Summers, will be chiming in if needed to assist along the way. Well, it's a stark contrast from when these two teams met with near freezing rain back in the season opener. 71 degrees here in Tukwila for a first-round matchup between two of the most storied clubs in MLR history. 4 of this league's 5 title games have featured at least one, if not both, of these clubs. Seattle in black, the camouflage for the Legion of San Diego. Colin, you were here for the season opener. It was the kicking game that prevailed throughout until both teams found a couple of late tries.
Yeah, definitely with the 10s, the kicking game and territory so important in this matchup to get the right field position early. Don't try to do too much early, but really, San Diego had a rough start in the first beginning of the season. They bracketed up the first 20 minutes, second 20 in the first half, and really, Seattle starts so well. They're going to go have to go ahead. A lot of physicality here in the beginning 20 minutes.
Seattle won that opener on the final play, essentially in a comeback effort. They would start this year 8-1 before injuries would decimate their lineup in a miscue here. After a promising start for the home side, fans continue to file in here at Starfire. San Diego looks to have caught a break. As we take a look at the betting lines for this evening's matchup, San Diego on the road, favored to win. And shoot, these first 2 days of the postseason, only one home team has prevailed, and that was a nail-biter over in Quincy, Massachusetts, with the defending champs Free Jacks surviving against Old Glory.
It's been a crazy semifinal round, and really the knockout rounds, the pressure is unbelievable. You come up here and you play this entire season, and it's a long, grueling season. Who can show up to the pressure on form and make those passes through 80 minutes?
Connor Tupai, your scrum half here. Danny Lee, his head coach, had a pretty good scout with a grasp of Connor's talent. Danny, a former teammate of Connor's father. Tupai, Kiwi born. He was previously in the United Kingdom.
Come up underneath you. Your legs need to come up underneath you. Yep. Let's go.
Both teams identical records. Seattle hosting this by virtue of having more points. The number 2 seed in the Western Conference this year. What a year it was in the West alone, with several credible league champions. Houston, though, falling yesterday to Dallas, and that means the winner of this not only moves on, but will host the Western Conference Final. And of course, we already know the championship match will take place in San Diego with or without the Legion. Legion with their first phases. Brahi making his way up towards midfield. The tackle from Dan Creel, the third-year Seawolf, who sat out the season finale. Again, these two teams met a few weeks ago before the international break. That was back at Snapdragon. A convincing win for the Legion. And the physicality here early. Legion believe that Seattle, with all their injuries, are going to try to come out early. Full blast, but San Diego is going to try to match that physicality. First trip into Seattle territory here for the visitors, the number 3 seed Legion.
Roll away.
And after the tackle, not rolling away. And early decision for San Diego to make here as we dive into your keys to victory.
Yeah, for Seattle, it's win the physical battle. They've got a bigger squad. They're at home. They've got to go ahead and win that contact area, but also dominate the set piece. They're in home territory. They got to go ahead and win their lineouts and their scrums. For San Diego, they're good on the road, but they've got to execute. They're doing a good job so far, and maintain your discipline. That's staying on sides. That's limiting your penalties, limiting dumb mistakes. They do that, they get the victory.
Back in the season opener, of course, it was Josh Henderson wearing the number 10. These days, the legendary Matt Gitto, as he will try to split the sticks for the opening 3 points after the infraction on Seattle. Gitto, one of 2 Legion players who can claim over 100 caps for their home countries. Gitto, the Australian, here with the left boot. It is San Diego who strikes first in a knockout matchup against their rivals here in Seattle.
Absolute dream start for San Diego, getting on the front foot. Seattle had that opportunity on the edge, knocked it on, and when you get those turnovers in semifinal knockout rugby, you got to make them pay with points. They did a good job. Nice up and under there from Gitto. Good chase. They got the turnover, got the points, and they got to build on that. But Seattle's got to answer back here.
Gitto was 4 of his 5 kicks in the season finale against these Seawolves, and playing advantage here on the knock-on. The ball will stay with the home side.
I like that competition in the air from the edge. I think that was Foodie getting up. Everything needs to be contested. Even these restarts, put the pressure on and get yourself some opportunities.
J.P. Smith came off the bench in that season finale in San Diego, but back to wearing the number 9 on his back, as well as the captain's armband. The 30-year-old from South Africa, the former Cheetah. He's been with the Seawolves since that 2019 second championship year.
Okay, fellas, there's a lot of movement across. We need to get steady quicker, okay, as we spoke about pre-game. All right? Let's go.
Lincoln Rose, Colin Hawley with you, and for the first time today, let's check in with Dallin Stanford down on the pitch.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, it's been electric here for the last 2 hours. The fans are buzzing. It's packed behind me here. Bound by blood, bound by glory, the shirt says selling here. Everybody's wearing that. And speaking of glory, don't forget, in the last 16 games between the two sides, 12 have been won by the home side. Is that a good omen for Seattle? We'll find out. San Diego, Danny Lee says it's a tighter field, so they can play more direct rugby. Can't wait for this one.
Yeah, decisive advantage for the home teams. They did once meet in the postseason in Glendale on a neutral pitch. Of course, that would go to Seattle, who would go on to the final. As you look into the coach's box, there is Danny Lee. How much has all this success gone to his head? Danny Lee these days is getting $10,000 haircuts, Colin. Now, to be clear, he's not paying $10,000. Supporters are, to shave his head a couple weeks ago to help raise money for the youth club for San Diego to have a chance to travel and compete.
Yeah, really impressed with Danny Lee. He's such a stoic coach. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Coming in, he had 20 different players come in, and he really mismatched the players in different positions and found the right form, and it's been proven successful as Seattle gets it over here and levels the scoring field.
That's Major League Rugby's leading scorer this year in 2024. Mac Mason, 156 points this regular season. This is after he spent last year away from the game, ranching and wrangling cattle back home, the Aussie, after he was in Austin a couple of years ago, back in MLR this year. And Clarkey was more than happy to hop on about an hour-long online chat with him during the offseason, gauge his interest, and bring Mac Mason in his boot to Seattle. You got to be a good one to force Sam Windsor to the bench. That's a luxury Seattle will have in the second half.
Okay, use it!
So each side has gone to the tee early. That was the case when Mac Mason was 7 for 7 on kicks in that season opener to hang on for the win. Each team just managed one try. Far from the fireworks we saw a couple weeks ago in San Diego between these two teams. David Tamilau with the carry of the Eagle.
Backwards.
The ball does stay backwards and then off the boot. Ghetto will test the discipline here of Seattle in their own end. As hanging on to it, the fullback Duncan Matthews, who's really found his form here in the second half of the season, despite some obstacles for injured teammates.
Use it.
And off the boot of Smith. This is the 5th time these two clubs have met in the postseason. Nice carry from Brahe, able to keep it alive with Tupai. Connor Tupai finally brought down by Rousseau. And San Diego trying to be the first team to dot one down. They are able to tightrope that far touch line to keep this opportunity alive to try to dot it down for the first time. Tupai claiming that ball not being made available as the defender not rolling away, but they'll play on. Tamilau, San Diego playing with advantage. Brahe upended, absolutely a devastating blow, but again playing with advantage. Colin, you felt that up in the broadcast booth.
That was an absolute shot. Looks like it's going to be dangerous tackle here. Let's take another look at it. Coming up, making a shot right there. Boom. In between the liftoff and the drop. Looked all right here, but that's what we were talking about in terms of form versus physicality. San Diego finding their form. The ball was moving pretty quickly between hands. They were finding people, and then Seattle coming up and making big hits. That's this match right now.
That was Devin Short putting that shoulder right into the midsection of Marcel Brahe. It'll be Ghetto who calls for the tee for a second time. You think about all the talented men who have worn the number 10 over the years for San Diego. San Diego last year, that 15-1 run through the regular season made it to the championship final, played in Chicago on a neutral site, only to see their hopes of a shield slip away late to New England.
Now we talk about San Diego finding their form. This is what it looks like. Nice job by Brahe, feigning the inside, but then that inside line from Tupai, he knows he's going to be there. And look at the support. There's 4 jerseys on the outside, and this is what we talk about form and executing on the edge.
Billy Helu able to keep that ball in play and keep the threat alive for San Diego, though they had to settle for another 3 points.
They're taking him out. No, you just over.
Again, it's a much different philosophy when these two teams meet in Tukwila on a narrower pitch. San Diego, with Danny Lee opting to go with a little beefier lineup, believes that it's got to be won up and down the spine of this pitch. It's less about speed on the perimeter. That ball comes out for the home side. Can they pounce? J.P. Smith trying to free it up. Quickly to Creel, now out on the perimeter. And that last phase from Mac Mason provides so much great balance for this team. Not just with the kicking game. Can the Seawolves be the first team to punch one in?
Wow.
Oh, the physicality living up to expectations. Kick through. Brilliance on display. And for the first time today, ball dotted down from Duncan Matthews.
And the Seattle Seawolves are hunting. They hunt together, and that was phenomenal. It came from the physicality at the breakdown to get that turnover. The messy part of the breakdown, the contest, San Diego didn't have support there, and then Seattle went to work physically going forward. Take another look here. Here's the turnover. Talea getting some good go for it. And here, just getting over the top. The ball's open and get picked off. That's great sense of awareness from Seattle, and they go to work. Here we go. Straight through north-south rugby. Keep those legs pumping. And right here, out the edge, playing quick. Nobody behind. Stab it through to the back, and that's a great try by Duncan Matthews.
Able to beat Waganabe to that ball. As Seattle has already equaled the number of tries they had in the season opener here against San Diego. And you heard the voice of our TMO, our television match official, Derek Summers, confirm for referee Luke Rogan that the try is good. 2-point variety here for Mason. That one's going to be pushed wide. They'll be content with a 2-point lead. Let's give you another look at Seattle with the first try of the match.
Yeah, right here it comes to great go forward from the engine room. Quick ball out the back and just right there behind the defensive line. Nobody's back. It was too quick. Put it on the foot. Well weighted. Sits up for the fullback. And a great try. What a strike from Seattle on home turf.
And it's a Seattle team with no Jade Stickling with 10 tries this year to lead Seattle. Who would step up in his absence? A lot of space here. But Brahe will return serve.
Don't move.
Mason.
Take him back. Touch.
Opportunity for Seattle, just plucked away in time by Waganabe, a 27-year-old Fijian. And after the tackle, not rolling away.
9. Okay, that's the second time you've gone to ground on a player that is trying to roll. Listen. You've got the penalty. Enough now.
Pretty well settled there by our veteran referee, Luke Rogan. A one-way conversation. About to dial up our first line out of the match, believe it or not, here in the 15th minute.
Push back, fellas, push back. Push back, push back, push back, push back.
Well, the 2024 Major League Rugby season will culminate at the MLR Championship at Snapdragon Stadium, home of the Legion, on August 4th at 4 o'clock Eastern, live on Fox Sports. Internally renowned DJ Marshmello will have a halftime and post-match performance as part of the festivities. You can get your tickets today at sdlegion.com. Of course, the city of San Diego hosted the first 2 championships in this league. Who was there lifting the shield both times? Seattle. They'd love to go to San Diego again. And just some sloppy play out on the perimeter.
Yeah, that's that pressure from the Seattle defensive line coming up, making hits. Ghetto trying to get that skip pass over the top of that aggressive line speed on the outside. Didn't go to hand. A knock on from Seattle, and that from San Diego, and that's that execution piece that they've got to dial in.
Another set piece here for two evenly matched squads up front.
I'll still count it. I thought you pulled it out as he went. That's why I didn't go for it. Yep. But I'll definitely have a look.
And always such great support here at Starfire in Tukwila.
Spoke about chase your feet. Take the weight. No worries. Take the weight and come forward. Yeah?
Seattle has won 18 of their last 21 matches here at home. It has been as close to a fortress as any home venue has been over the years in Major League Rugby. The 30-year-old scrum half, Smith, gets us underway. Can they stay organized? A little dummy from our try scorer, Matthews.
Not on the ball. Play on.
Back in centrally and a big shoulder from Greg Peterson, the big lock.
Step back. Thank you.
Sent skyward here at midfield. Brahe with some traffic. And was that a dangerous pursuit? Called for pulling down while in midair.
Yeah, contesting in the air, dangerous tackle, pulled him down. Let's take another look at it here. The ball is a high hanger, and right here they're both going up for it, but right there Brahe just gets his arms around and brings him down. Taking a look at this angle. Nice high hanging kick, but right there, great job by Seattle getting up, but Brahe's got to let him go, come to ground safely.
I've also seen him grab the body.
There's a chance San Diego might be down a man in a moment, depending on this conversation.
Come up to you, mate.
Yeah, Rogues.
So we've got 15 wide at the moment with a dangerous in the air challenge. He's late to the ball and he grabs the player while still in the air and pulls him to the ground. At the moment we're at penalty, but we just want to check where this player lands to see if it's a yellow card.
Okay, I agree with the facts. He lands on his back, on his rear end and back, not on his feet.
We don't see any mitigating factors here to help out Brahe's argument.
Have you got me?
You want to hold up? You're in and out, mate.
If they can get the technical issues resolved, we anticipate it will be a yellow for Brahe. For the dangerous tackle, have to allow that guy to come back safely down to earth. Another look, Colin.
Yeah, as a fullback, if you're Brahe coming up, you've got to go for the ball. You can't go for the player in the air. That's the contest. Your sole focus is try to win that ball in the air, and you leave the other contender to do the same.
You're saying a yellow card? Okay, so and that's 15 white, correct? Thank you, mate.
So San Diego's about to go down a man for the next 10 minutes. Now, to be fair, they arguably played some of their best rugby in the season opener here when they were down a man. They both saw a yellow card, later saw a red card.
So I'll explain it. So in the air, he's not in a real position, missed the ball. He's grabbed the player and pulled the player to ground. The player's landed dangerously and he's a yellow card.
It's being relayed to your captain, Blair Cowan, for San Diego, who had that yellow card back in week 1. Brahe will be a spectator for the next 10 minutes. His team currently down by 2.
So it is a penalty, it is a yellow card, okay, but guys rolling around on the ground and carrying on.
And you already saw the tee in the hand of Mac Mason. You don't have to cross midfield for him to believe he's in range. The moment he gets off the team bus, he's pretty confident. He can split the sticks. See his numbers on the year.
Yeah.
Did miss a conversion earlier. Let's see if he can make up for that and then some here. Flags are up. Seattle tacks on 3 more. And again, for the next 10 minutes, we'll be playing up a man with the absence of Brahe.
Yeah, unfortunate for San Diego and the Legion fans. Brahe's been such a leader on this team, especially that fullback position.
Well, San Diego just wanting to survive these first 20 minutes. They thought that's when Seattle would have their best punches. It is a team, again, Seattle started off 8-1 this year, finished 3-4 down the stretch in the second half because of so many injuries. It's been hard to be able to finish out matches. Off the left foot up J.P. Smith. And a knock on Seattle. They'll play the advantage here as it falls in the lap of Awake. Thomas Awake, the 28-year-old from New Zealand.
Still have your advantage, Ryan.
And they're still playing advantage. It's going to come back here for San Diego at midfield. Well, just because the season is over doesn't mean that Stacy and Mark are off the hook with MLR All Access. You can still find them every Tuesday on FS2 with highlights of the previous week, previews of the upcoming matches.
Hydration break while this guy's down, fellas. Hydration break while this guy's down. Yep.
Such a great resource for fans of Major League Rugby every Tuesday night on FS2. We'll step aside. It is our first half hydration break. One of these teams goes on to the Western Conference Final. The other one heads into the offseason.
I have to say my first 20 minutes, empty the tank, we get back together. Yeah. All right?
Get ready for this.
We are here to make the fast food business faster. With just one generous lick. Oh, sorry. There we go. Taste ID will create exactly the combo you would like to eat.
How do you know our customers will like it?
Like it? They're gonna lick it.
Nice.
Get a technology partner that knows your business and your consumers. Globant, technology that really dares to delight.
Come back to Starfire Sports. Welcome back to Starfire Sports. The home side, Seattle lead San Diego 11-6 in the semi-final cliffhanger. Veronica, professional soccer player. This is your first rugby game. Tell us all about how much fun you're having.
This is incredible. I've never been to anything like this. Starfire is amazing, and the fan base it's incredible. It's been so much fun being here.
And how did you find out about rugby?
So my partner played in college, and you guys reached out to us about coming to the game, and I was like, absolutely, this sounds like an amazing opportunity to support a local Seattle sports team.
And who's going to win this one?
Us. Absolutely, Seattle. 100%.
Awesome. Let's get back into the stand. Thanks for joining us. We love having you fans.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Dallin, thank you. Yeah, we've got players here from the Seattle Reign of the NWSL, from the Seattle Sounders of MLS. We've got a handful of Seattle Seahawks from the NFL as well, all looking to cheer on their Seattle athlete brethren here. As the Seawolves right now, with the only try of the match, as they lead San Diego 11-6. Lincoln Rose, Colin Hawley, along with Dallin Stanford down on the pitch. Now, Rhino Herbst was the injured player that ultimately led us into the early hydration break. And it is, you see Crumrye, the substitution on for Herbst. As Taylor Crumrye, the 32-year-old American. We've seen him with the Falcons on behalf of the red, white, and blue. Both these clubs 11-5 this year. Seattle, though, more points in the table, so they host this opening round. 17th all-time meeting between these two clubs. These are the only two teams in MLR that have qualified for 5 of MLR's 6 postseasons. You see some of the numbers this year for the substitute Crumrye. And collapsing the collapsing the scrum there, pulling it down. The infraction.
This side, collapse. Back you go.
Ask both head coaches what this rivalry reminds them of in terms of rivalries that they themselves were involved in. Clarkey of Seattle mentioned Leicester and Northampton back in the day, while Danny Lee referenced his time in New Zealand, anytime against the Crusaders. But this is the definitive rivalry in Major League Rugby over the years. They even met in the final back in 2019. As there is the proud individual from Northern Ireland who, folks forget, he was briefly the director of rugby for the Dallas Jackals, but when they punted to delay their debut in MLR a year, after he had already drafted Connor Mooneyham to Dallas, he took the job at Seattle, and a couple years later has been reunited with Connor Mooneyham, who just had a brilliant effort with the United States during this international break, but not featured here tonight.
Twice, use it!
Legion trailing by 5 on the road.
To the middle. It's fine.
That's a great turnover by Seattle.
San Diego down a man, just continues to allow Seattle to build momentum here. And some extracurricular now. That's your scrum half sticking his nose into things.
Just like a scrum half always does. Well, you had San Diego there. They had the penalty. They had a nice beachhead in Seattle territory. And right there, just the referee said through the middle and just a straight steal, which should have been a great maul there by San Diego. Again, physicality winning the day for Seattle so far. Take another look here, and you just see the rip. I think that's number 5.
Yep, that is Nakaru.
Going to really make it simple. Unacceptable from both of you. Okay, I see that again on this field. Both of you are going to go. Clear?
Disapproval.
Time back on.
From Luke Rogan.
Going forward. Go.
Having to set the tone here early. There is no tomorrow for one of these two teams. Tomorrow's the off season for whoever comes up short. Only one higher seed has prevailed through our other 3 matches this weekend.
Responding to your check, please. Just feed it in, Dave. Just feed it in.
Let's see if Derek Summers spotted something else. While they get this straightened out, so all that happened yesterday was Old Glory with a fantastic start in New England against the defending champions, your number 1 seed in the East, but the Free Jacks, with all their injuries, still prevail in that one. Then in the nightcap, Dallas, after coming so close in the season finale against Houston.
I'm going to explain. So we've had a check. There's a neck roll by 2 black. It's going to be a penalty against you guys.
Can you give us time to sit, please?
I will, yep. It's going to give you time to sit. Back you go.
Claire Callan wanting to work quickly there.
A neck roll, meaning they went ahead and rolled the player out by his neck. He can't grab that neck to get him out of there.
Definitely.
So a penalty goes San Diego, a bit tit for tat, but look at this field position for the Legion.
Well, trying to dial up a line out from 5 meters out. Historically, this is the best chance to dot one down for a try.
And this is where execution is so pivotal here in these knockout rounds. You've been doing this all season. 5 meters out. How's your line-out game? How's your maul game? Can you perform?
Hugh Roach will feed the line out. An ambitious toss to Hella, who has it.
Sack is good.
The maul, however, never really forming, never getting a chance to drive. In Seattle, if you haven't heard, there's a little thing over the ear called the Seawolves.
So it's fine.
And more often than not, it has been able to hold up strong when pinned back.
Let's go, fellas. Scrum time. Let's go.
So a scrum here as Seattle.
Take a look. Nice line out to the back, and what an outreach there from Helu at the back. But right there, Seattle just making it a mess. That's that physicality, getting a turnover there. Roach not happy with it, but Seattle again keeping San Diego out of the try zone.
Hugh Taylor was right in the middle of that, of course, wearing the number 8 that typically this year was reserved for Riekert Hadding, their captain, lost late in the season. But Taylor has really stepped up in that back row that otherwise has been decimated.
Okay, both of you come out. Time off. Both of you come out.
The timing change on that one, mate.
Yes, that one.
Cameron Orr and Luke Green.
You're leaning a lot, and you're not taking the weight. You're coming forward. I'm not going to keep resetting scrums between you two with this going on. I'm just going to start penalising people in the bin. Sort it out, please. Let's go.
It's the dark arts in the front row. The big guys. Scrummaging is such a technical game in front there. You talked about leaning and being able to go ahead and have your body weight. It's such a difficult thing to do as a back. You never want to be in there, but you respect it.
You may have heard the ovation from the fans. Rhino Herbst comes back on with the head bandaged up in place of Crumry. And he's going to have to re-enter as that was to address a head injury. Smith with the scrum for Seattle, pinned back in their own end with a 5-point lead.
Far side, down to knees.
And San Diego not upholding their end of the scrum.
Right on each side, JP.
Again, so far so good for Seattle trying to defend their home pitch.
And take a look here on the outside. You see that knee going down on the opposite side. I think that might be Peyton Talea getting penalized there.
It was Talea Ilaleo who had the red card back in week 1 here.
In and set, come on.
Danny Lee talks about his loose head prop as being a back trapped in a forward's body. All right, can Seattle change the real estate? Tough sledding for Taufete'e.
Use it! Stay.
Out into some space, but met by the double tackle.
Good roll, well done.
Right into the teeth of San Diego's defense.
Stop in front, don't move.
It's a low bouncer into the 22. Tough to handle, but able to secure it. Awake finally wrestled down by the Seawolves. Matt Gitto has a couple of kicks for the 6 points for San Diego, still looking for their first try. They are down a man for another 90 seconds after the yellow card to Brahe about to expire.
Use it!
Seattle has not been able to capitalize on that man advantage. Tupai sends this one skyward. Back to your try scorer, Duncan Matthews. Mason. Oh, in and out of the gauntlet, Tony Pulu looking for support, able to offload it to Rhino Herbst again, back into the action. 6 meters out, Seattle looking for its second try. Can they stay within themselves? Matthews trying to bully his way to the line. The Seawolves knocking on the door. Herbst is in. Seattle marching down the pitch. The punctuation from their lock.
And the Seattle Seawolves are running rugby right now. Absolutely incredible counterattack from Pulu. Take another look all the way back. Here's that counter. You move the ball away from the possession. And here we go. Bouncing in between three, getting through one, and right here. He gets through and he's looking left and right, looking for support. Back on the inside, and that's Rhino Herbst. They're in support. Absolutely there. Nice job there. And Herbst again gets it on the outside. The big man is running rampant around here at Starfire, getting the try. Well done, Seattle.
The 27-year-old South African sat out that season finale. Second try of the day, conversion this time good for Mac Mason. The lead expands to 12 for the home side. Well, we want to remind you that SportsBreaks.com, the official fan travel partner of MLR, is offering ticket and hotel packages for the upcoming 2024 MLR Championship in San Diego on August 4th. Packages include a match ticket, hotel stay, and yes, access to DJ Marshmallow's performance and more. Again, book your trip today at SportsBreaks.com. And MLR playoffs presented by SportsBreaks.com already well underway.
Yeah, I'm going to have a word.
I think that might be Brahe again coming on after the yellow card, getting a penalty in the air.
This time it's Inafuti, slippery. He had a try in that season finale. They're playing with advantage before Luke Rogan sorts some things out, including a potential second yellow on the fullback for San Diego, and here we go.
Yeah.
Is it Brahe who just came back into the match?
Yeah, we're gonna have a chat though. Blair, come out, mate, come out. Okay. So he's just come back on from the yellow card for this. Yeah, I don't want to have the red card for a similar action, yeah? Take this as your very strong warning now. I don't want to see it and have to talk to you again in this game. Okay?
He's an honest bloke, it's just...
I understand it's an accident, but yeah, let's be careful, yeah?
Very fortunate.
Yeah, take a look. He just comes on. He wants to make amends. And really, the timing of the jump was mistimed. He runs into him. It wasn't a fair playing contest in the air. He's very lucky not to get a red card for his team right now.
Yeah, had he not already been on a yellow, certainly would have been a yellow. Luke Rogan opting to be merciful there. This was the second try. Rhino Herbst had just come back into the match in his own right.
Yeah, and that was a great job after the counterattack and straight, quick ball kills in rugby out to Herbst, and he just dives over. And Seattle is on the hunt.
All right, line out here for Seattle, Joe Taufete'e. He's got 6 tries this year. Former Houston SaberCat and LA Giltini. He too played in San Diego back for the Breakers the year prior to Major League Rugby opening shop in 2018. Again, that's Hugh Taylor wearing the number 8 these days for the home team. And Seattle find a 3rd try here in the opening half. Nakaru. This time to Drosta, one of the newcomers this year. An opportunity lost for the Seawolves and a referee lost along the way. Luke Rogan hits the deck but bounces back up.
Step back.
Charge down from Mason. San Diego able to get it away into touch on the full.
Fortunate turnover. I think it was Matt Giddo there. Here's the tackle. The tackler assist, gets over the ball, gets the counter, and look at that, gets his hands on it. And that's an Australian international right there, showing his skills and getting his team out of trouble. But Seattle was north-south rugby, just coming at that defensive line and getting go for it. Great turnover by Matt Giddo.
I believe it's subtle, but I think he shows his hands to show he has his own balance, managing his own weight before going back in for that ball.
And that's another look, and the pass out to the outside, and Grogan getting in the middle of that.
Taufete'e able to drop it down. Smith. Seawolves unimpressed by those who question whether they could defend their home pitch despite all the bandages and bruises entering this postseason. There's a lick that'll be addressed as Luke Rogan will bring this back. So nobody's safe from contact down there. So a heads up to our Dallin Stanford to have his head on a swivel.
Yeah, that's right. I just want to give a shout out to some of the family members in town. Anytime you play at home, what a great occasion. Cameron Orr, his brother's in from Australia. Mac Mason's mom and dad are here from Aussie as well. He's from a town of population 20, so half that town is here watching him play. And then Sam Windsor's wife has flown in for this game. First time they get to see him play in a Seattle jersey at home. The San Diego side, well, the cohort didn't make it. Their flights got cancelled, unfortunately, this morning, but there are still a few red jerseys here from San Diego, so well supported for both sides in this epic battle.
Yeah, of course, this weekend, lots of travel difficulties. The players are all here. Some technical staff a little late arriving.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it. The issue was the other side last one. Let's go, we're good. Good.
Seattle Seawolves, San Diego Legion, head coach for San Diego, Danny Lee up there in the coach's box. He was expecting Seattle to bring their best in the opening 20 minutes. The question is, could they continue that pace? And it seems like Seattle's gotten stronger as we get closer to halftime. The real test will be in the second half when San Diego has the luxury of dipping into its bench. San Diego fell behind early in that season opener, erased the deficit, took a late lead here in Tukwila, only for Seattle to find the final try, their first try of the match, enough to put them over. If San Diego had won that opener, we'd be in San Diego right now at Snapdragon. Playing advantage here, so a couple of bites at the apple, playing with house money for San Diego. Will they opt to go to boot the ball here? Tamala calling his own number, Connor Tupai.
It was deliberate. Tackle was high. Got to get them down. Yeah, you slipped up around the neck.
High tackle from Hugh Taylor again. San Diego's playing advantage. They keep the ball
slipped
here.
Up around the neck and taking the play to the ground.
Saw the bloody knuckle.
I think you just ran into it. Yeah. Shot. Yeah. Shot.
Matt Gitto looking to split the 6 for a third time today.
A lot of pressure from Seattle's defense coming out. That high tackle just from a lot of San Diego players running at it. But that defensive line speed from Seattle is absolutely coming up, making big hits on San Diego.
Gitto, 41 years young. Not the oldest man out there. Ma'ananu, 42.
Just in general. Normal. Yep. Let's go. Yeah.
Gitto 2 for 2 today. Had that big steal to deny Seattle a potential third try. Several minutes back here. '21 of 28 on kicks this year, including a couple here today. Not his finest, as Seattle will have a chance to play with the ball. And Seattle already looking to make some changes up front. Cyril Thama's coming on, the hooker. We're also saying Afungia, the scrum half. As Danny Lee already making some adjustments here. And you do it right before a critical lineout. Let's see if all these pieces can connect with the new hooker, Thama. They'll say it straight into Helu. And again, the fresh legs of the man who just came on, Afungia. A knock on will thwart the effort.
A lot of frustration there. San Diego trying to get their continuity game. Nice throw, nice pop to the outside. You see the captain, nice give and go to Tupai on the inside, offload off the deck, and great go forward here. You've got Seattle on their heels, and right there with the roll, just a knock on in the contact area, and frustration for San Diego.
So Seattle up by 12. You see confirmation of the couple of changes that were made, but we've already seen them involved. Thama, and Afungia out here on the perimeter. No chase after the kick. And Brahe may have just carried that one into touch. Did he get a mark called? That's the case. A big break for San Diego.
Yeah, nice job by Brahe on the edge, calling a mark.
Give White the line there.
And take a look at the skill of the fullback here, running backwards, calling the mark, right, dancing on the touchline. And he's a USA international, doing a great job back there. I know he's got penalized, but he's an absolute asset there at the 15 position.
And Alan Clark looking on.
Let's go.
His Seawolves.
Quicker, please.
With a 12-point lead, 4 minutes shy of halftime.
Let's go, quickly, let's go.
Joe Taufete'e, who will get us back underway with this lineup. Can the defense of the Legion stay disciplined? Smith to his left finds Dan Creel. Creel's simply been fantastic this year for Seattle.
That's fine, it's on the chest. No.
Taufete'e back to Mason. Nakaru leading with that shoulder. And still advantage for Seattle to play with. Here's Devin Short, just outside the 22-meter line. How much breathing room can Seattle give themselves going into the sheds for halftime? Mason spins it on the perimeter. There's still support out wide. Futi will bring it down for the next phase here for the home side. Nakaru. A carry from Motinga. a 26-year-old Kiwi from New Zealand. Drosten looking who he's got. Herbst. Could he find a brace in the opening half? Back to Creel. 6 meters out. Seattle. A little dummy from J.P. Smith. He's a meter shy.
15 on his feet, first arriving car.
Oh, wow. You thought Seattle had it there going through J.P. Smith. That little dart almost had a try.
A long time ago. Back you go. Holding on.
And you understandably could be confused. You heard the ovation, but that's the traveling fans for San Diego.
Take a look at it here. Here's the dart inside, and Brahe over the top. He's got his hands on the pill, not releasing and getting the turnover. And again, first it was Gitto with the turnover, then it's Brahe, and really just trying to survive until halftime to keep Seattle out from another score.
So Marcel Brahe avoiding that second yellow and now showing off what the 36-year-old can do by just simply playing a smart game out there.
Play discipline, keys to victory here. No silly penalties. And just keep your discipline in there. You'll get your opportunities. You'll get your turnovers just like that. And San Diego relieves the pressure, and they're out near halfway.
Again, Thama, the reserve hooker, in for his second line out. Able to find Greg Peterson. San Diego twice has thwarted Seattle's flirtations with a third try here in the opening half. Can the Legion dot down their first before the midway break? This ball bounces the way of the visitors. Tupai able to free it up.
9-2! New advantage off feet.
Playing with advantage now. San Diego, can they capitalize? Perhaps get creative. And an offside call moments ago against the defense of Seattle. Afungia.
No, you pushed him back into it.
On the perimeter, Brahe.
No! Away!
Tupu Afungia, 2 tries this year. Already a first half sub in this critical knockout matchup in the conference semifinal. Between the 2-seed Seattle, 3-seed San Diego. And it appears Luke Rogan's content to bring this back to the original infraction. We have seen exactly 2 tries, both belonging to the home team Seattle here in the opening half.
Number 2, off feet.
It was Matthews, the fullback, who found the first one. Rhino Herbst, after coming back in from his knock, able to extend the lead.
A nice job by Seattle. The initial kick through behind, just playing quickly, and then the counter attack by Pulu that set up that try. Seattle, when they're on form, are absolutely phenomenal. San Diego's doing a great job, even with the yellow card in this first half, knowing Seattle starts off hot early. Can they weather the storm and have a great second half throughout the season? They've always come to play in the second half.
San Diego, last time they were here in the season opener, passed up a chance to tack on 3 points right before halftime. They wanted to line out and go for the try. They never got the try. They are not going to leave points on the board here. Gitto drives that one through for the final score of the opening half. The Seawolves with 18 points, including a pair of tries. Matt Gitto's left boot responsible for all 9 points here on the road. How will the second 40-minute period shake out? We've reached halftime. With glory on the line, winner moves on to host the next round of the Western Conference Final.
If your business needs a new application, then developers will have to write code.
It's playoff time, America.
Let the bass kick. Let the bass kick. Let the bass. Let the bass kick.
I have a new show at Fox. It is called Quiz with Balls, and it's could win lots of cash, and they could make a splash. Big old balls, big old balls, big old balls, big old balls, big old balls.
The Quiz with Balls, all new Tuesdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu. It is time for the question. Count the number of noodles, both white and black. How many total noodles are there?
Are you one of 50% of Americans who can answer this question correctly?
Let's look at the answer. 7.
Fox Mondays. It's not about what you know.
What happened?
I got the wrong answer.
It's about how you think.
I panicked. Do not feel ashamed. You're as stupid as I am.
Patton Oswalt hosts.
Are you in the top 1%?
The 1% Club. All new Mondays on Fox and watch anytime on Prime.
It's playoff time, America. Welcome inside our studios for All Access at the Half. That's Mark Stabina. I'm Stacey Pates. When I think about some of the hardest jobs in all of sport, first thing that comes to my mind is the officials. You cannot make everyone happy all the time.
I don't think they're appreciated enough either, Stacey, or acknowledged for the pressure that they are constantly under. I mean, we couldn't play the game without them. And they are human. And now you get to see just how human they are in this next segment.
Who has the longest pre-match warm-up?
Cat Roche. I think it's Cat. Oh, it's got to be Scott Green. He's constantly in the change room and then he comes out very early.
Scott Green. Scott. Surprisingly high maintenance.
Who's the most forgetful?
Forgetful, Marquise. The King Marquise.
Ah, that's the easy one, man. Everyone knows that's me.
Who's the most forgetful? Looks like you just forgot the question.
Me.
Who has the cleanest kit?
Oh, the cleanest kid, Scott Green. Scott Green before he referees. It's got to be Scott again. Like Scott before the game is very, very clean. After the game, you don't want to go anywhere near him.
Who has the greatest sense of humor besides you?
I was going to say naturally, but I'd say Robin Kluzniak. There was that mic'd up game last week. There's a few one-liners that went a bit viral.
I'm not going to check every single thing that you bring me the whole time. If you want to referee the game, then you need to retire first and then do that. Okay? If you want to play the game, I need you to play it.
Who's most likely to be late?
Late, I think Marquise. Marquise Goodwin. Definitely Marquise Goodwin. Yeah, no need to say anymore there.
Who's most likely to turn up late? And be honest.
I thought that was a personal hint.
It is.
It is? That's me. That's me again. I'm sorry. Everyone knows that. Come on now.
I love seeing it. You know, they have to be so on point throughout every minute, every second of every game. It's nice to see them being able to just be looser and be themselves. Good to get to know each of them a little bit better. Well, we're going to send you back to the game in just a few moments. Enjoy.
When trucks are what you do, you build game-changing trucks. Trucks that help you chase one of these.
If you feel it.
Or a couple of these. We build trucks that help you maneuver around one of these. That's right. Jump one of these. And back away from one of these. We're Ram. And we were built for this, this, and this. You don't face your fears, you ride them. Twisters, now in theaters.
At Domino's, we know there's a lot of pressure to tip these days. Everywhere you go, there's a tip screen.
Great set, bro. Now take a look at this screen real quick.
And do you, Michael, want to answer one more question?
At a time when tipping can feel thankless, Domino's wants to say,
Thanks for the tip.
by tipping you back. Tip your Domino's driver $3 or more online and we'll tip you $3 to use on next week's order. Only at Domino's.
First 20 minutes, empty the tank, we get back together. All right?
Get ready for this.
I'm going to change your world. That's going to be interesting. Let's go. I love to root for great. Yeah. I want to watch history. Ooh. You want to root for the underdog. Good luck with that. In sports, people hate what they fear. They hate the Cowboys. They hate LeBron. I've got a lot of haters. Truth hurts sometimes. I'm controversial when I don't even mean to be. It doesn't matter how many times I'm right. You'll still argue with me. This is The Herd.
They stepped up and enlisted to bravely serve our country. But life is challenging, and sometimes we need a shoulder for support. Two things that should never go together: veterans and homelessness. That's where U.S. Vets comes in. Founded by veterans to uplift veterans, U.S. Vets is an army of professional staff, donors, veterans, and civilian volunteers alike.
U.S. Vets is the home base for opportunity.
Let's take a look at yesterday's semifinal action when Old Glory DC takes on the New England Free Jacks. And Old Glory, their continuity game so strong, gets in the hands of Buckley. He'll score 3 on the day, gets Old Glory up to a great start. But here come last year's champs, the New England Free Jacks. Over the top to get 3 there, but here's Vanderbank. The absolute turning point in this match, getting a half break, getting through a couple. Nice little bump off there, and they offload for the try, the New England Free Jacks. Best Old Glory DC in the East, 33-29. Let's hop on over to Houston, where Houston hosts their rivals, the Dallas Jackals. Nice kick through by Vanderskype, and Tossie, their kick's only as good as its kick chase, bats it back to Semu Smith, and he'll dot it down for Houston. Strong start there, but Dallas relentless and too many errors. Tossie again, just a missed kick, scooped up by Dallas. Support scores tries on the outside. That's Tidwell running it in to score for Dallas, and they're on the front foot at the end of the match. Houston has a chance, and an errant pass just right there. Can't get picked up by Schumacher. Nice kick through, and again, errors from Houston. Goes the way of Dallas, and dotting it down is Oliver, and that's the dagger in Houston's season. And the Dallas Jackals move on, 34 over Houston 22.
And Colin, we take our fly around the league, brought to you by American Airlines. One top seed in the East survives, the top seed in the West falls. And just prior to our matchup down in the Big Easy, another favored side falls. Chicago will make its debut in a conference final. They will go to New England, where they defeated New England in Quincy earlier this year. The road team won the first 2 meetings of those 2 squads. Meanwhile, here at halftime, it is Seattle defending their home pitch. Well, again, it's that time of year again in honor of the late founder of Rugby ATL, S. Marcus Calloway. The annual S. Marcus Calloway Community Impact Award honors the player who shows remarkable passion, excellence, and integrity on and off the field. One player nominated from each of Major League Rugby's teams each year. Winner of this year's S. Marcus Calloway Community Impact Award will be announced during the MLR Championship on August 4th. But congratulations already to all of those great ambassadors on behalf of their clubs and their communities. Starfire looking to lock down a victory for their Seattle Seawolves. They are halfway to moving on to a Western Conference final against their rivals.
It's winner take all for $1 million prize. Wow! The basketball tournament on FS1 all tournament long.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, and I saved hundreds. With all the money I saved, I thought I'd buy stilts. Being so tall definitely has its advantages.
Oh, wow.
Here you go, kiddo.
Thanks. Hi, honey. Ready to go?
Yep. There it is. There it is. There we go. I guess it also has some disadvantages.
Yes, it does.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
With the right plan, the right team, and hard work, even the most unpredictable events can be overcome. At USI, you have the whole team on your side, protecting you from the unexpected and making sure you bounce back better than ever. We take the time to understand your concerns and provide solutions with customized game plans for you and your business. It's Major League focus and results for you. And we call it the USI One Advantage.
Gunnar Henderson,
A 5-tool phenom you need to know.
Hunter Henderson.
Rookie of the Year, check. All-Star, check. MVP candidate leading Baltimore towards a division crown, check. Padres, Orioles, Saturday on FS1.
No matter how old or young you are,
I'm that grandfather that's going to make it happen.
classic Gen X overachiever, you can still become America's next master chef.
I'm a millennial. I'm not worried about the thing.
Gen Z, we have nothing to lose.
I feel like this dish is giving me a hug.
I don't usually cook with alcohol. I'm mostly drinking it.
Gen Z.
Which generation is going to win it all?
MasterChef Generations, all new Wednesdays on Fox, anytime on Hulu.
14 top food entrepreneurs are fighting for a $250,000 prize.
I'm so nervous.
We want to see that you can take your business to the next level.
Chili for children.
Square Eats.
Pop drops.
You are Team Vanderpump.
I'd also like you on Team Ramsay.
It's Team Ramsay.
Whose idea was that marketing plan?
Sorry, guys.
Versus Team Vanderpump.
You need to walk in your customer's shoes.
You're desperate to win, aren't you?
Wipe that slide off his face.
Food Stars, all new Wednesdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Today's presentation of Major League Rugby is brought to you by Arctic Outdoors. Overbuilt, not overpriced. Shop MLR. Get your MLR fan gear today at shopmlr.com. And of course, our teams are nothing without their valued partners. The Seattle Seawolves would like to thank the City of Tukwila, WaFd Bank, and Virginia Mason Franciscan Health for their support. San Diego Legion wish to thank Ballast Point Brewing Company, Dalton, and Ogio for their support. Take a look back, Colin, at our highlights from the opening half. 2 tries for Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle putting on the pressure here. Quick ball out the back. Nobody home in the backfield. Nice little weighted kick and a dot down by the fullback, Duncan Matthews. And again, a nice counterattack by Pulu sets up this try. And that's the big man, Rhino Herbst, just dotting it over Seattle when they're going north-south. And Matt Giddo, 3 conversions for him, keeps San Diego in the game as we head to halftime.
Take a look at our stats brought to you by Sportable, and I think both teams are probably fairly pleased with how the first half went. San Diego believes they can be a second half team here on the road. Seawolves have given themselves a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, the penalties for Seattle, they got to keep it up. And San Diego's, they've done a good job, but one of those penalties was a yellow card. Playing 10 minutes of man down really hurt them. Tackles missed for San Diego. That's going to be big there, especially with Seattle going north-south and playing the physical game.
And numbers brought to you by our friends at Sportable, and a little look over the shoulder at the new Seattle Seawolves app. We'll see if their fans can continue to put that to use throughout this postseason. As if Seattle can hang on for a win, they're going to stay right here, and they will be hosting the Dallas Jackals next weekend in the Western Conference Final with the right to move on to San Diego for that championship. Obviously, the Legion interested in getting back to San Diego next weekend for the conference final and already know that the final would be at Snapdragon.
Be a dream setup there for the San Diego Legion, and their fans out there would love to see their home team coming. But Seattle at home, just 1 loss, and this is their absolute fortress here. They play so well at home.
We saw New York and Atlanta meet twice in the postseason. No other clubs in MLR have met multiple times in the postseason except for these 2 teams who have met all but 1 year in the postseason. This is their 5th meeting in 6 MLR postseasons. Again, they have had some classic matchups, including in the final in 2019 in San Diego when Seattle claimed its 2nd straight championship and a walk-off winner at the end. Seattle won its first 6 ever MLR postseason matches. Its first loss didn't come until 2022 in that final against New York when they came up short on the road in New Jersey. As we welcome you back underway for the start of the second half, Lincoln Rose, Colin Hawley, along with Dallin Stanford down on the pitch. Can San Diego mount a comeback like they did here in Tukwila back in week 1? They survived a yellow card in the first half, down a man. That's not when Seattle was able to really take advantage. Here's your first try scorer, Duncan Matthews, up towards midfield. We mentioned Seattle, just 3 losses in their last 21 home matches. We saw them lose to Houston back in week 4, but otherwise have been perfect 7-1 at home this year. We weren't quite sure if Houston was for real. It turned out they were. SaberCats just lost twice in the regular season, but they were one and done at SaberCats Stadium yesterday against the Dallas Jackals. I don't think there's such thing as an upset that would emerge out of this match. Both these teams, credible teams, moving on. For San Diego, had their own home winning streak snapped earlier this year by Utah. Danny Lee made those pair of changes right before halftime, bringing on the new hooker, Cyril Thama. Tupo Afungia also coming on. San Diego, we believe, has the luxury of a few more talented reserves after the injury bug had no mercy on Seattle this year in the second half of the season. After an 8-1 start, they won just 3 of their final 7 matches, but hung on for home field advantage here today. Cameron Orr testing the waters. Quickly freed up by Smith. This one kicked through. The chase unsuccessful. It'll go into touch with the turn. But a chance to check in for the first time this second half with Dallin.
Yeah, that's right. I spoke to Seattle assistant coach Chris Latham, and he said they need to up the physicality in the second half. Discipline is a major area that they're focusing on. And then Danny Lee for San Diego. Well, he said they're a second half side. They've been that all season. They need to trust the process, be urgent, and when in the right part of the field, they need to be accurate to get points. As you well know, it's do or die for their side.
Yeah, this 18-9 deficit that San Diego is facing is the exact same deficit they faced back in the season opener. They erased the 9-point deficit, only to see their lead slip away late. And both these head coaches in their third years in Major League Rugby, taking over storied programs and continuing to run with the success after grabbing the baton. A line out pending here for the Legion. Thama, the Fijian. A successful line out for the Legion out of their own end. And this is a knuckler back over to the Seawolves, where it'll finally die down for Tony Pulu. And a service back and forth. We've already seen as many tries as we saw in that season opener here. When both teams found one, Seattle has found both of them so far. Mac Mason tracking that one down.
Nanu trying to get that 50-22, doesn't hit it exactly right, and it rolls out the back. It's going to come all the way back, but trying that ping pong match and that kicking exchange just goes the way of Seattle.
Well, we heard from Dallin how important it was for Clarkey that his men continue to play smart rugby. It is San Diego who has had some miscues, and a little hitch in the giddy up, presumably a cramp here for your first try scorer of the day, Duncan Matthews, the South African. So his day is done. Pete Lepetti will come on. A 25-year-old who we've already seen with the Eagles. He was your last-minute hero in that season opener with the only try of the match for Seattle at the death. As his head coach looks on. Matthews a spectator the rest of the way.
Tavita Lepetti coming on, the Eagle. Had a great trip there with the USA team coming on. He's an absolute attacking weapon. He's physical. When he talked about upping the physicality in the second half, Tavita Lepetti's going to bring that.
Again, his try in that opener is arguably why Seattle is hosting as opposed to being in San Diego today. Otherwise identical records, but points favoring Seattle. Bonus points amassed by the Seawolves this year, outnumbering those of San Diego. As Mac Mason looking for insurance. Luke Rogan telling him the precise spot.
Trying to get a little bit better angle. This is a long kick, well within his range. But again, another penalty at scrum time there goes the way of Seattle. An opportunity to extend this lead by 3.
Made his MLR debut in Austin a few years back. Immediately a presence.
I've got you. We're just going to look.
And pushes that one wide. A miscue from the league's leading scorer. Unable to extend a 12-point advantage here at home. Heard Dallin mentioning that his family members are here from a community of 20 people. I'm not sure if that includes the cattle. Get to him. Tacked on those 3 points right before halftime. Herbst unable to squeeze it in cleanly. And the knock on here in the early going of the second half.
Just got to love that pressure off of that 22-meter dropout. San Diego really needs to go ahead and add that pressure to kind of level the score line, but getting up there and making that kick a contested kick. Great job by San Diego. Now see if they can get their execution game going here, get in their rhythm.
More changes for San Diego up front. Darcy Breen will come in now in place of Luke Green. They're one typo away from being related. A scrum here for San Diego. As we say hello, no doubt, to the Dallas Jackals tuning in to find out who their opponent will be. Their assistant coach, the new addition to their coaching staff this year, Nate Osborne, predicted a 12-point win in Houston. That turned out to be the exact margin yesterday. Back on the perimeter, San Diego looking for their first try of the day. It is a foot race. That's Seattle with numbers back and ultimately smothering this one. Tony Pulu. Pulu's overcome some injuries of his own. Many of his teammates have not been as fortunate to be able to bounce back. And Tony, the 34-year-old American, 5 tries this year. And Matt Mason will put his foot to this ball for the first time since that missed penalty earlier. A couple of Legion players occupying the same pace. Shot out of a cannon. Afungia, the Tongan. Back over to Seattle. San Diego hoping to bring that ball into touch. Now looking to strip it away, the turnover. Brandon Harvey, the big lock. Tupai. Gito, Brahe. Out wide to Awake from Ma'ananu. Can that seawall hold? Stay disciplined. Devin Short, some discomfort after colliding with Darcy Breen, who's just come in.
Hey, you see San Diego trying to get around the edges. The Starfire Sports Complex is 7 meters shorter in width. So getting around the corners pretty hard to do. So you see them, their usual game plays, get to the edge, see if you can find a bit of space. But really, Seattle's doing a great job covering those corners, and they're not getting as much purchase.
Let's take you back a few phases ago.
Yeah, just right in the middle of the pitch. The handoff between the two forwards doesn't go to hand, but here the counterattack and just straightforward. That's what they got to do. North-South rugby, take it to Seattle's defense. And right there, Tupai trying to put on the foot. Doesn't go exactly where he wanted, but great fight at the breakdown. Somehow gets that ball back. Lots of hands up. Just an absolute fight at the breakdown.
San Diego, like many teams before they come to Tequila, will put out some cones and try to cone off a narrower pitch to get ready for Starfire. And it's good to see that Short will be able to continue, as there is Patty Ryan, a 25-year-old Brit who suits up for the United States, has been capped 5 times by the Eagles. We'll see for whom he is coming on. But again, this is where Danny Lee thinks he can win this match. Going to that bench, so much talent. He's already made a handful of subs as early as the final 10 minutes of the first half. And he just doesn't think Seattle can answer, as they've been decimated. Clarkey has just been trying to figure out who is available from one match to another. That includes no Connor Mooneyham, who returned this year from a torn ACL. Again, just got off with a great debut with the United States. Well-deserved, but not available for Seattle here today. And of course, Riekert Hatting, an overqualified water boy for much of this season, on the sidelines.
A lot of injuries for Seattle. Riekert Hatting one of the better forwards in MLR, not being able to suit up, and Seattle's just done a great job weathering that injury bug, getting to the semifinal knockout round, and they're playing well.
Jackson Zabieric is the first change for Seattle. Joined this club last month. The Oakland native played his college ball at UC Santa Clara. Of course, was with the American Raptors earlier this year. That season wrapping up. Joining MLR in time for the postseason in place of Taufete'e now.
Another early penalty there from San Diego. Matt Gitto can't believe it, not rolling away. Can't capture that ball in there. You got to get out of there if you're the tackler. And Seattle did a great job weathering the storm, getting that turnover, and now a touch finder to get some territory.
All right, line out coming up for the Seawolves. I mentioned they just brought in a new hooker. Can they execute here?
The deep bench for Seattle, eagerly awaiting the fate of their season.
Saw Sam Windsor at the end of it. Unsuccessful line out for the Seawolves. Turnover to the Legion. And our referee, Luke Rogan, indicating the knock on.
Yeah, take a look at the stolen line out here. Seattle gets up at the back. A nice contest from the back end. We talked about Seattle needing to dominate the set piece, but every time San Diego gets that turnover, it's a big victory for them, and they've got to build on those kind of opportunities.
Of course, San Diego has Billy Helu, who had 13 line-out steals this year to lead all of Major League Rugby. It's hard to find anybody else in double digits. He just had a nose for the ball. Tupai, who this year charged with replacing Richard Judd, who went on to Super Rugby at scrum half. As he'll alter course, Ma'ananu will send one out to the perimeter. Can they track it down in time? They do not. It takes a turn into touch.
Yeah, you see San Diego go into this option. They go ahead and move it out to the center, and Nanu. That's supposedly bringing up that defense and bringing up that outside winger to come in that defensive line, opening up that territory patch right to the back left end. Not a bad option. You probably wanted a bit more on it, but really try to mess with that defense and really keep them honest.
Nanu, again, the 42-year young talent for San Diego. Will he or one of his teammates be able to find that first try? They've trailed by as many as a dozen today. It is still our halftime margin, 18-9. We close out the 51st minute. This one sent skyward. And a miscue from San Diego. It went backwards, or did it? It did not. No. This one to the Seawolves. A little pat on the back for Manganabe. There's Mikey Teo. When will his number be called?
Yeah, this is just an unforced error here. Watch the ball into the breadbasket, straight through the arms. That's just an unforced error from San Diego, and a great field position change up there for Seattle. Just in these semifinal knockout rounds, you got to limit those kind of mistakes.
Mikey Teo will turn 31 in a couple of days. He's looked good in red and black, whether that's in Utah or back here in San Diego, where he's made a name for himself. 2 stints with the Legion. Before that was with the Breakers. He and Sam Windsor, again, 2 of the faces of Major League Rugby since day one.
Yeah, Mikey Teo is an absolutely brilliant player. He's been an Eagle for a long time. And really what he's going to add to the pitch if he gets on, he's so creative and he sees the game so well. And they really need that to get some continuity going, get something going on attacks that can score some tries. Mikey can bring that little bit of creativity and injection into the offense to get them going here. They need to move something.
So again, neither team has been able to nudge this score since re-emerging from the halftime sheds. Teo trying to get that blood flowing, especially after he saw the knock on. He knew he was going to be able to handle that one cleanly and sprint the other way.
It's go time, Mikey.
J.P. Smith will free this one up. The Seawolves have their third try. Mason, a little clever pass. Almost stolen. Is that an intentional knock on? They'll play on here on the perimeter here from Pulu. Presumably advantage for Seattle. Inside the red zone. San Diego has thwarted Seattle's last two promising efforts dating back to the first half. Can the Seawolves create even a larger margin heading into the final half hour here? Mason. And a short offload to Nakuru. Tackled by Vilihelu. And Seattle will be able to get away with that miscue. Luke Rogan, our referee, keeping San Diego on side. Oh, off the shoestrings, Mason. He's dragged into touch. Was Seattle still playing an advantage? It looks like San Diego's going to get this ball back.
Oh, line speed coming at you on both sides. Seattle attacking the line on attack. And San Diego decided to go and up the ante on the defensive line speed. And that's those collisions. Really hard to get some go forward if you're Seattle, but San Diego matching the tempo.
Joe Taufete able to return after being tended to earlier this half.
And taking a look at the line speed, San Diego coming up, trying to make something happen, get inside of that passing lane, almost gets the pick off, but that's the intensity for that defensive effort that needs to come in here to meet these strong Seattle ball runners at the gain line to make sure they don't get go for it, slow down that pill a bit.
That is a gamble. We are seeing Christian Poitevin come on for the captain, Blair Cowan. Charlie Hewitt was a late scratch. Poitevin plugged in his place. We're in the 19 here tonight. And Mikey Teo now in the match for Ma'ananu. Has Ma'ananu played his final minutes in Major League Rugby, or can his teammates extend their postseason run into next week back to San Diego? Winner of this match will play at home next week, hosting the Western Conference Final against the Dallas Jackals. The top seed in the West has been upended by those Jackals, knocking off Houston. Who can stay disciplined for these final 25 minutes? Futi across midfield.
And great job. Here's the kick and the kick chase. Futi gets up, but here's the tackle. Right over the top, the tackler assist. He butterflies, gets over the top, and the mongrel jackals the ball and gets the turnover. That's great effort.
And Poitevin, the Australian, late addition to the lineup on the bench today. Gito will dial up the next line out for San Diego outside the red zone.
And this is a great opportunity. Set piece ball, line out, right hand pass to get something going on attack. When you have this line out, it's a great ball to figure out what you got in the tank here in your menu of options at set piece. What do they have here to kind of unleash some attack here and get San Diego on the front foot?
Boy, San Diego has not allowed Seattle to find that third try. Could really change the complexion of the match if they could dot one down for the first time. Thama, successful line out. Now right up the spine with Awake. 25 meters out, San Diego Legion. Your 3 seed looking to upend their rivals, the 2 seed Seattle. Here in the Western Conference semifinals. Teo with an early touch. Chance of seawall. That more often than not have been successful chance here at Starfire over these first 7 years of Major League Rugby. Seawolves have been a tough out at home. They've never lost to San Diego in a postseason match here in Tequila. Conversely, they won their second ever title in MLR on San Diego's home grounds. Ball out to Teo. Support out wide. Still available with Brahe. But for now, it's Poitevin. Will this culminate with 5 points for the Legion? Thama lowers his shoulder as he's met by a pair of Seawolves, and it's a turnover. Seattle's seawall has stood strong. And now Luke Rogan will intervene.
Coming back there, ball security and the tackle, another knock on. There's been a couple there from San Diego. We talk about execution and ball security. You know, a great momentum builder. They were clawing their way back into the match, into Seattle territory. Just got to hold on to the pill. Taking a look at it here, the ball gets out, and just a great leg drive, but right there, the ball squirts out, and it's a turnover to Seattle, and that's just a momentum killer for San Diego.
You saw Nanu on the bench. 2 Rugby World Cup titles on his resume. The Super Rugby legend, capped by the Kiwis 103 times. Does he get to suit up for the Legion again next week at home at Snapdragon in the Western Conference Final? He helped lead them in that fantastic season last year, all the way to the final match in Chicago against New England, only to see that pursuit for their first shield for the club slip away. No team has had more regular season success in these 7 years of MLR than San Diego. Even in that shortened 2020 campaign, they were 5-0. Who knows how that year would have played out? Seattle, however, the most decorated postseason team in MLR. 2 titles, 3 finals appearances. Just about wrapping up the opening hour. And Seattle able to thwart the most recent advances from San Diego. Scrum here for J.P. Smith and company. We've been scoreless for 18.5 minutes since re-emerging from the locker rooms. The most recent score was Matt Gitto right before the halftime break with his 3rd successful kick. Line-out numbers pretty close to being in line with what we've seen from these 2 clubs this year. Thama into the fingertips, collected by Greg Peterson. And no support immediately there for Tion Lutz. 6 tries this year for Lutz. And that one, Teo moving a little too quickly. That ball slips away. How did Luke Rogan see it? We'll have a hydration break. 20 more minutes to go here in Tukwila. Seattle and San Diego currently it's the home side, looking to continue their pursuit of a 3rd title in MLR.
First 20 minutes, empty the tank, we get back together. All right? Get ready for this!
Welcome back to SoFi Sports Stadium. What an engrossing fixture we have here in the Western semi-final. Jade Sickling's normally scoring tries for Seattle. You're not on the side today. I know you'd rather be there, but what's it been like playing in Major League Rugby in the United States?
Obviously, it's a bit nerve-wracking at the moment with it being such a tight game, but it's absolutely unreal with the crowd that we have here in Seattle. Unreal fan base. We've got a couple of local teams, Seattle Seawolves and the Rainers. Like Seattle Rainers also are just supporting us. Unreal to have them here tonight.
And yourself personally, playing rugby in America, dream come true?
Definitely a dream come true. Big Apple, living the American dream down here in America. I feel like the rugby has really picked up over the couple of years. A couple of suffers in our side at the moment, and I feel like excited for the next chapter and coming back next season.
How's it going to finish?
I feel like obviously I'm supporting Seattle, definitely Seattle with the win. I feel like we have to finish off strong with maybe 14 more points on the board.
And it means you'll be playing next week if that happens.
Definitely hope so.
You heard it here first. Thanks, Jade.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Jade Stickling among the talented players not available today for Seattle. 10 tries to lead the club into the postseason this year. San Diego playing with an advantage here. Awake. Pago Heine has come on. Devin Shortstay has done the flanker for Seattle. Who gave the crowd the applause they deserve. Teo looking for an assist. Just trying to keep that ball in play. Is that a knock-on from Seattle inside their own final 5 meters?
23's knocked that into touch.
And injury concern right now for Devon Rousseau.
Well, finally San Diego moves at the edge in a big skip pass. We're saying we got to get to the corner. We've got to get some go forward out there. Owaki gets a little bit of space on the edge and try to make some magic happen with an offload with a bunch of San Diego jerseys there. Bit of a hook pass back inside. Could be a penalty here, and hopefully that man Connor Tupai is all right because he's been playing phenomenally.
Well, San Diego almost carried this ball into touch. They throw up a prayer, and Seattle may have bailed them out with a knock-on inside their own 5 meters as they try to replace a flat tire here inside the final 20 minutes. And Patty Ryan among the talented players available to San Diego off the bench today. We anticipate Seattle at some point will go to Sam Windsor, who's already starting to warm up some on the sideline.
Good.
Let's see if this is a tap into touch for Gitto for a 5-meter line out for the Legion. They've had one of these today. They were unsuccessful back in the first half.
We bring back the keys to victory here as the Seattle Tavita Lepeti gets the yellow card. He's going to sit for 10. San Diego's best opportunity to get a try here in the quote-unquote fourth quarter of a rugby match. The last 20 minutes, what do they have in the tank here? Can they execute?
Former champion of this league, Justice Sears-Daru with Seattle back in 2019. Now, past couple years with San Diego, has come on against his former side. Will he be able to help mount the comeback here against a shorthanded Seattle side after Lepeti was guilty of that knock-on inside his 5 meters? Legion looking for their first try of the day, and they are in.
And that looks like the replacement hooker. Cyril Thama gets it down off a well-executed line-out, and you were hoping for San Diego to finally execute and get a try on the board and get closer to the scoreline. But that's what we talk about, executing when it matters in the semifinal knockout matches. You've got to do this. Check it out. Great throw in the middle there. Vili Helu just gets it down in, and here's the execution part. How well can the forwards get together? The shove on. You see Matt Gitto at the back end, shoving the 10 is at the back foot, getting to go forward. And right there, great try by San Diego. Well worked. They stay tight. They stay together. They keep moving, and they get it over for the try and finally get one on the board.
Third try of the year for Thama, who came in the first half. As Seattle was down a man, could not keep San Diego from eclipsing that line and dotting it down. This is a big conversion. Gitto could pull San Diego within 2, meaning that if he goes to the tee later in this half, he could be helping San Diego walk off a comeback, but this will pull up short. And that means, at the moment, a try is still a part of your math if you're talking about a comeback.
Yeah, take a look here. Back to the outside with a deliberate knock-on with Milwaukee. He goes to go to the hook pass, and right here you see Lepeti just knocks it out of bounds, kind of volleyball slap out of bounds, and that's the yellow card that got Seattle the 10 minutes in the bin.
Here's your try scorer, just a good old-fashioned hooker playing that one on the fly as he's able to eat up a couple of meters. Thama. In the 63rd minute, Mason centrally to Pula. Up towards midfield. And winner of this match will host the Dallas Jackals next week. The Jackals, the 4 seed this year. The postseason expanded to include the top 4 teams from both conferences. And the Jackals have already proven that that was a much-needed change. 50-50 ball. It does go backwards off of Brahe, so still playable here for San Diego. Charge down, denying the boot for Mikey Teo. What can the Seawolves do with it here with Dan Creel? Freed up now. Mason putting his bright boot on display. That's San Diego able to slow things down. Awake just got a piece of that ball at least. San Diego may have caught a break.
For me, this player's on the floor.
Yeah,
he's deliberately stopped the ball.
Yeah.
Player from picking up the ball.
I believe he would have picked up.
Oh, wow.
Big moment in this match.
Out 14.
We're not catching a lot of the words, but we may have caught enough to find out the intentions here.
He's deliberately played the ball.
He's
dived on the ball, but then he's deliberately played it after that. So he's denied us a try-scoring opportunity. So Dallas harder, there'll be a penalty try.
It is a penalty try awarded to Seattle, and on top of it, the card handed out by Luke Rogan. The microphone was breaking up, but we heard just enough to believe that that arm was about to go in the air.
Oh, absolutely gutted there, San Diego. Owake getting back there, trying to chase down that well-weighted kick. It was a beauty, I think, by Mac Mason, putting it through, getting the chase onto the outside from Pulu. He dives on the ball, but then again makes another effort. While there could have been a try scored, that's a penalty try and a yellow card, and it just, Seattle putting the pressure on from their own yellow. What a turn of events.
So that's Awake, who's out for the next 10 minutes, and of course the penalty try is the full 7 points. Seawolves looking to put this one to bed with the carry from Tony Pulu. If you're tuning in, you're saying, hey, Seattle's the home team. They certainly were favored in this. What's the big deal? But no, this is a Seattle team that has limped their way through the second half of the season to hang on for home field advantage. But here they are playing with some sort of inspiration against a San Diego team that finally found their stride after working 20 new players into the mix, developing chemistry for the first half of the season, while Seattle began that first half 8-1. Let's take you back to why San Diego is also down to 14 men.
Take a look at it here, and right there, Owake's on the ground. You see him, he's on the deck, and he reaches and grabs the ball on the ground, and that's going to be the penalty there. He's on the ground, he can't play it. He stopped the supporting player to picking up the ball and making a quick move to score a try, and that's going to be the penalty try and the yellow card.
So at the moment, both teams are playing with 14. In about 5 minutes, Seattle will have a man advantage, presumably. San Diego finally found their first try, failed on the conversion. And this was the knock for Pulu a moment ago.
Pulu making a great break, his second good break this game, and this was his try to offload, and just tackled by Mikey Teo on the edge there. Just an awkward tackle. Hopefully he's going to be all right.
Yeah, losing the ball on the knock-on along the way. So ball back over to San Diego. It's back to a double-digit deficit for the Legion. Tupai. Lincoln McClutchy now in this match. Had a try against Seattle and San Diego in the season finale a couple weeks ago. McClutchy to Ryan. Legion up towards midfield with Billy Helu, former Atlanta man. Putting boot to ball. And Seattle, a little hitch in the giddy up now of Tony Pulu again. That ball into touch.
And I think that's a great 50-22 from McClutchy getting it down there. McClutchy's been a great fly half here for San Diego. He's behind the 50-meter marker, finds a bit of space behind the Seattle defense in the deep three, and that thing rolls into touch. Great play by the replacement fly half.
Yeah, so it'll stay with San Diego. Line out here from Thama. They've had two similar lineouts here, flirting with the 5-meter line. They've been unsuccessful on both of getting them all formed and driving to that try line. Is the third time the charm. They're down by 11 each side with 14 men right now, with a couple of occupants in the sin bin. And Seattle again thwarts San Diego's ability to capitalize on the lineout.
Can you hear me?
And again, Seattle fighting at the line of touch.
I'll explain. I haven't got comms to him, but he's got back down in the air. So give me a penalty.
Back down in the air.
Back you go. Don't argue with him.
Can you just...
Looks like a penalty going the way of San Diego in the air. Infraction in the air.
Come on, either going to play on or he's going to get subbed off.
And there's the penalty, pulling him down in the air. San Diego gets another bite at the apple. Another opportunity to execute this line out.
Very careful here.
So another line out from 5 meters out.
Don't shift it across.
As Luco Rogan with a close eye on this one. Maul is formed for San Diego, 5 meters away from their second try. Thama, their try scorer earlier, but the maul has collapsed and given away. Thama trying to do it on his own, still 4 meters out. Seattle at the moment with the strip.
And looks like this could be problems for Seattle playing the ball on the ground.
Yes.
An absolute pressure cooker on the boil here in the red zone.
JP, good.
Take a look here. Joe Tafate over the top. And right here on the deck, looks like right there at the end, once he gets pushed over, he pulls the ball back with his hands. You can't do that once you don't have your feet underneath you and you're pulling that ball back. That's the penalty.
See some of the pellets from the artificial surface.
Boys, this is from Derek. He wants you to turn on and off if San Diego scores under the sticks.
Okay.
Connor Tupai and the Legion down by double digits. Season on the line. Late on the road in Starfire.
Use it now, use it.
Ball eludes Tupai.
Both are caught up, fellas.
And ultimately
both are up.
Standing up in the scrum.
Because they're both caught up.
But we may have another bite at this apple.
Talk about intensity. Set piece time in the engine room. The big boys going at it. What an arm wrestle.
Rucky has never seen his Seawolves lose a postseason match here at Starfire. Boy, chance after chance for San Diego. Will they finally be able to punch this one in? Tupai. And a big hit. Again, it's 14v14. Seattle about to get their 15th man back on the pitch. Time served in the sin bin. Tupai frees it up quickly. Maybe a knock on Brahe. That ball going backwards, still playable, but giving up a lot of real estate. And somebody needs to be a calming force here for the visitors. Tupai. Inside the final 10 minutes here in Tukwila. Out on the perimeter, ball is stripped loose by Drosta. And Seattle has done it again. Jean Drosta, the hero this time.
The Seattle Seawolves seawall in defense. Coming up, making tackles, putting on the pressure. Take a look here. McClutchy finds a little bit of a hat gap, but right there, great effort to get that ball and keep on fighting in the tackle and create that turnover. Seattle just bringing the physicality to each tackle contest.
Seattle will have a man advantage for about another 3 minutes.
I'm off. Yeah. I think he's got 2 hands to it. Why would I take something that I don't believe is foul play? And I've had 4 of you say the same thing. Huh?
Well, again, a reminder, with or without the Legion, the 2024 Major League Rugby season culminates in the MLR Championship at Snapdragon Stadium on August 4th, 4 o'clock Eastern, live on Fox Sports. As DJ Marshmallow will have a halftime and post-match performance, part of the festivities. Get your tickets at stlegion.com. I'm told there's also going to be a rugby match between the performances from DJ Marshmallow.
Yeah, something about MLR Shield and Championship.
Seattle has 2 of those shields. That's more than anybody else. San Diego has played for 2, each time literal seconds away from claiming a shield. Most recently last year, only to see it slip away. LaRue Milan happened for New England Free Jacks.
I could be wrong, but I think he's got 2.
Boy, San Diego's had so many chances here in the red zone, but empty-handed. A double-digit lead still intact for the Seawolves.
Wait till the ball's in. Wait till it's in.
Legion penalized, driving early. And again, we talk about discipline being a keys to victory here, and little mistakes in the tackle contest, turnovers and penalties, getting Seattle out of trouble. And right now, they're just going to go ahead and relieve the pressure and kick this into touch.
San Diego had that convincing win over Seattle, 45-33, even though they trailed by 18 points at one time at Snapdragon in that season finale to Seattle. The Seawolves were just trying to stay focused on this opener, the conference semifinals, get everybody back that they could healthy. Even with no Jade Stickling, no Connor Mooneyham. Seawolves less than 10 minutes away from another win at the expense of San Diego. We've seen Kobe Baker come on as Thomas Awake was guilty of conceding that penalty try. He's trying to loosen up after past 8.5 minutes being seated, serving the yellow card. Very few subs for Seattle, understandably. Many of their starters were subs to start the year. Some of these fans too young to remember the 2018 and 2019 shields lifted by Seattle. Some of them way less than that shield did back in 2018. Smith sees daylight. Tony Pulu. Upended opportunity. Seizing the moment. Pago Heine. Perhaps with the final punctuation.
And what a play by Seattle. The scrum, blind side. J.P. Smith, the captain, finding Pulu on the edge. And then Pongo Heine, the heads up, quick play, the pick and the try. Take another look. Nice scrum by Seattle, the captain. Nice pass to the edge. And here he is. Nice job right there. And the great seal over the top. Quick pickup from the base. And the try from Pago Heine, the replacement coming in right when they need him. Seattle on top. Taking another look here. Great run there by Pulu. Supports there from the captain. Quick pickup. And that's deadly rugby from Seattle.
Heine, an MLR original. He was with Houston in 2018. Since then, New England, LA, New York, and now Seattle. looking for his second title to go with that one with LA against Atlanta.
Dave, check the times correct for me.
Mac Mason. The flags will stay down, but it's a 16-point lead for Seattle. And ooh, you hope that's not something that would carry into next week for Mac Mason.
Yeah, it looks like he was hurting after that kick a little bit. I know he had some hip issues there for a little while. And
I mean, you would assume his day is done, and Sam Windsor can close things out for you. Ryan Reese now in at scrum half for the Seawolves. A little over 5 minutes away from crossing the finish line.
Now you're good.
Afungia with that last phase. Connor Tupai still in this match with the keys to this offense. At scrum half. Ball taken away by Drosta, a hero earlier, but a knock-on call. And pardon me, that is Zebieric, who comes back into this matchup for Taufete'e. And now Cramp starting to catch up.
Let's go. He's run all the way here. Let's go.
There's
Stop it. Let's go.
Mac Mason right there, just wincing a little bit. Hopefully he's all right.
Run all the way here. Let's go.
He is among your contenders for our sportsbreaks.com player of the match.
Yeah, Mac Mason did a great job at 10, marshalling it, great kicks, but Herbst, the lock, there was a couple of moments in there. His defensive effort was great, but his attack effort in support and scoring the try, great job. And obviously Giteau on his foot, keeping San Diego in the game.
16-point deficit for San Diego to overcome on a night when they've only found one try. When these two teams met here in the season opener back on the first week of March, near freezing conditions, it was a kicking game that prevailed with just one try for each team late in the second half. A different story today. Seattle has dotted it down 3 times in addition to a penalty try. And a line out coming up for the Legion.
Our number of penalties. Next one's going to go.
It was San Diego that got its first postseason win against Seattle last year, and part of San Diego's run to the final. After Seattle had ended San Diego's season 3 years in a row to begin their Major League Rugby postseason journeys together. Legion trying to claw one back here with Awake. Teo. And now it's just Pride kicking in. Drosta and the Seawolves trying to keep them out. Legion diving in. Do they get it down? They do. That's the international signal, a thumbs up.
Nice job getting to the try line. Awake just diving over, getting the try. Might be too little too late if they try to get this through the sticks, and that one's good. Quick conversion.
Time of the essence, and there is still time. Awake making up for the penalty try conceded.
Take a look at this. Acrobatics on the edge, just jipping up there. Nice job scoring the try. And Teo just putting on the foot quickly and getting the conversion, keeping their hopes alive here in the knockout rounds of the semifinal, as Seattle happy to walk to halfway and eat up this clock.
Taylor Crumrye came in a little bit earlier, and that is Sam Windsor, the all-time leading scorer in the 7 years of Major League Rugby. His time split between Houston and New York, and now with his third stop in Seattle. Again, that last try from San Diego certainly makes things interesting until this turnover. Creel inside of 10 yards. That ball stripped loose to Paddy Ryan.
On top of it. They've laid it straight on top of it.
That time melting away. And ball back over to Seattle here after the infraction on San Diego.
Both of you, let's go, right? Hey, let's go. Come on.
Kudos to J.P. Smith knowing the score line, and when he's getting tugged back by his shirt collar, just walking away.
I don't want you to put you in the bin, but I will. Yes, good. I'll put you in the bin if you continue.
Yeah, we're not interested in finding out if time served in the sin bin carries over to the season opener next year. And Ryan Reese, your scrum half the rest of the way here for Seattle. Seawolves, the 2 seed in the West, the highest seed remaining, looking to avoid an upset on a weekend where only 2 home teams, if the Seawolves move on, will advance to the conference finals. We know Dallas is traveling to the West Coast regardless. Will it be San Diego after a comeback here, or will it be here to Tukwila? This is where Dewey Kotza found an MLR record 5 tries, only to see Dallas come up just short of the upset early in the season against Seattle. Brahi looking to go the full 80. We are into extended time here at the mercy of how long they can stay clean. We continue to play rugby with 5 teams still in the hunt for a title here in 2024. And a whistle from Mr. Rogan, and now a card is being shown. And that should give San Diego a little bit more hope here.
We'll get some more information on that yellow card. Obviously scrappy stuff at that breakdown. I think it was Chance Wengluski that actually got that card for Seattle.
Yeah, the Tulsa, Oklahoma native will be out of commission for the rest of this one. Look, if he can serve that full 10 minutes and come back on the match, that's good news for San Diego. That means they have continued to extend this match with scores and clean play. The next mistake for San Diego likely ends their season 1 year after they made it to the final for a second time in club history, only to come up short. Thama, a try score today. Can he make it a brace? 7 meters out. Another infraction, and this is not how you want to. Wow, Justice Sears Daru. Got to be smarter here down the stretch. They'll have some things to sort out with the TMO, no doubt. Longest running rivalry between 2 originals here in MLR. Somebody's season about to end. Legion were awarded a penalty try to pull them within 2, but that is the story. The Seattle Seawolves continue to march on, and they'll be right back here at Starfire next week to host the Dallas Jackals in the Western Conference Final.
It was absolutely everything that it was supposed to be. Great play by both teams. Obviously frustration from San Diego at the end, but Seattle, their defense, their physicality, battling through this match, especially at home turf, a narrow pitch. It came down to physicality, and then doing a great job of keeping San Diego out of the try zone early, thwarting a bunch of efforts from them, turnovers on the red zone. Seattle did what they needed to do. Great job in advancing on to the Western Conference Final.
It's Seattle, it's San Diego, it's yet another chapter in this storied rivalry. 9 of the 17 meetings now have gone the way of the Seawolves, who are still alive and hunting for a 3rd championship in Major League Rugby. We're down to 4 teams, Colin Hawley. The top seed in the East survives. They host Chicago, where they fell to Chicago earlier this year, by the way. The Dallas Jackals come back to Seattle, where they came close to knocking off the Seawolves. We mentioned those 5 tries from the Dallas hooker, but Seattle will have home cooking for another weekend. Again, 4 teams next weekend. They'll be trimmed down to 2. Let's take a look at our moment of the match in our 80 minutes tonight. Pago Heine.
San Diego was getting go for it, but then a penalty, and here the captain, J.P. Smith, gets it out to the edge to Pulu. Nice job here, and nice job by the captain getting over the top of Pago Heine. Quick pickup, quick try, from the replacement forward to get a great try here and put San Diego to bed. Take another look at it here. The winger taking on two. Nice sealing of the ruck and quick ball on the edge. Pago Heine comes in with your moment of the match.
So they will suit up 1 week from tonight, next Sunday against the Jackals. The date is set. Do the Jackals have another upset in them? As for San Diego, you reflect on a successful season and some question marks of who will be back next year. We'll still have the full offseason to answer that. But what a battle. But credit Seattle. Many question whether they could in fact defend Starfire against a San Diego side that had